everybody, how you doing? It is time to clean with the ECOVACS T20 Omni. And my house has not been vacuumed in probably over a month. I've been moving stuff around. We had to get together and there's crumbs and stuff kind of everywhere. So this is going to be a very good test for this robot vacuum to clean my entire floor plan. First, let me tell you a little bit about this robot. Once again, it's the T20 Omni by ECOVACS. It is a all-in-one robot vacuum and mop combo. It will automatically empty the dust from the bin, and it will automatically clean the dirty mops with fresh water and suck dirty water into a dirty water reservoir up here. This one also has the feature of automatically lifting the mopping pads out of the way. So when you run over carpet, it's going to lift them out so that way it doesn't touch the carpet and to get them wet. It's a nice feature to have. It has object avoidance. It has LiDAR, which is the best navigation for robot vacuums. And this part of this video is just going to be kind of me showing you the mess. I'm going to have it go around and clean, then I'll show you after and see how well it did with the mess you just saw. And then I'll set up some little test for it to mop up, as well as maybe like a quick little cleanup of, you know, some Cheerios or something on the floor. Then I'll set up a couple things to see how well the object avoidance works. So let me go ahead and show you around my house. Warning, it is very dirty. I am actually surprised at how dirty it is. Once again, like I said, I was moving and stuff and it just, you know, got away from me. But I mean, there is stuff everywhere. I even have rice, guys. I had a trash can here and I have rice from a challenge I did over a year ago. If you haven't seen that video, you need to see that. That's where I put down, I think it was 50 pounds of rice, and I sent out 30 robot vacuums to go clean it up. But anyways, back to this video. As you can see in here, this is my kitchen. We did a bunch of cooking in here, and of course made a mess. There are crumbs everywhere. Yes, I know it's disgusting, but we'll see how good this guy cleans it up. Going into my office area, as you can see, there's just stuff kind of everywhere. Big mess underneath my computer desk. I had a computer chair over here that the leather was flaking off, and so that's what all those black specks are. Coming into here, not too bad over here. You know, normal everyday debris over on this side. I'm gonna leave this here. This is some kind of a little plastic battery pool to like a little remote. I think that's gonna be kind of hard to pick up because of the shape of it and how thin it is. I'm gonna send it out one time to clean this floor plan, and then I'll go back through and show you exactly how well it did. I'm sure it's gonna miss some of it, and I will show you all that. All right, everybody, on to the obstacle avoidance test. Put a little bit of debris down just to see how well it cleans around items. And we'll see if it runs into anything. As you can see, I got a fake pile of dog poop. Just a red vase, little toy car that your kid might leave out. And then of course, the biggest test is always a charging cable that people leave, you know, hanging into the wall and it's on the floor. See if it avoids that. So I'm gonna send it over and clean just a small area, and hopefully it does a good job. So I just tell it to clean with my app. Should clean this whole area. And let's hope it doesn't bump into any of the stuff. I would assume it's gonna do really good on the 3 bigger items, but the cable is usually most object avoidance's downfall. There's not really many out there that absolutely avoid a cable every time. There are some, most of them are getting pretty good at dog poop, and then bigger items are just typically easy for them to see. So here it comes. I'm gonna let it play out, and I will do a quick time lapse just to speed this up for you guys, and then we'll talk about what the time lapse showed and how it hit. Hopefully it doesn't hit anything. Alrighty, time for the object avoidance test. I slowed it down a little bit for the time lapse, and they always start with a perimeter, so it's doing that right now. How do you guys think it's gonna do? So as you can see, it slightly bumps well, not slightly, it rams the red vase. But then strangely, when it moves it, it finally sees it and avoids it from here on out. So you can see it did great with the toy car. And to our surprise, does great with the charging cable, which is a big problem for a lot of robot vacuums with avoidance. So right here, it's actually going back and self-emptying, which this robot has a smart setting that when it senses excess dirt, it goes back and self-empties, which I absolutely love. So now it's finishing down there, and here comes the big test, the dog poop. It did slightly bump it there, but would not have ran it over, and then it avoids it pretty well after that. So I'd say overall, it's definitely a pass. All right, on to a quick mopping test. Should be very simple. I put down some milk right there, as you can see, and then a little bit further behind it is just a little bit of ketchup. So we'll see how well it gets up the milk, if it smears it around, and then if it gets up that bead of ketchup. There's actually a couple spots of ketchup. One right there, and one more right there. Another feature that this DEEBOT offers is voice control. It has its own voice control system called Eco, and we're going to test that right now. I'm going to tell it to come and clean room 6 and have a vacuum and mop, and it should come out and automatically do that for us. Okay, Eco.
Okay, Eco. I'm here.
Vacuum and mop room 6.
Okay, get it done now.
Alright, so right now it is pumping water onto the mopping pads. Gonna get them nice and wet, and that's gonna come over here and start mopping and vacuuming. So once again, I'm gonna switch you over to time lapse to make this a little bit quicker, and then we'll look at the results when it's done. Alrighty, on to the quick mopping test. Once again, always starts with the perimeter and then cleans within that perimeter. Pretty simple test here. Most mopping robots do a pretty good job overall nowadays. And if it can handle even just the small mess, then it's gonna be able to handle your everyday debris. There's really none out there that can get on tough stains. And here's a quick demo of the mopping pads lowering and raising when it senses carpet. So when it senses carpet, it'll actually stop the pads and raise them up a little bit, and then lower them down and start spinning when it senses hard floor. I have some of the thickest carpet you can buy, so it still rubs a little bit on mine, but if you have a thinner carpet, it should do a pretty good job overall. And this guy does a good job vacuuming and mopping, so I'd give it a pass for sure. Alright guys, there we have it. Did a pretty good job there mopping, no real issues. And came back and automatically self-cleaned its mopping pads. Now this one does have hot water cleaning, which is new for robot vacuums. It heats up the water to 131 degrees, and that's what helps clean the mopping pads, and it does a great job of doing that. Let's take a quick look and see how they look. Do you remember it picked up ketchup? So that red ketchup should be pretty visible if it didn't do a good job cleaning. And I don't see any red there at all. So this also has hot air drying, so it will dry those mopping pads. Those were not wet there because it's been drying the past couple hours.
Start charging.
Here is the clean water tank and the dirty water tank. You can see there's a lot of residue at the bottom. And that was just from that one cleaning run you just saw, because that's the only time I've cleaned with a mop on this unit so far. So overall, it did well. The object avoidance, minus the red thing in the beginning, which, I mean, who really cares if it hits something like that? It avoided the more important things, which is the charging cable and the dog poop. And I was surprised that it did so well after seeing it hit the red thing first. And I'm like, oh, this thing's going to be terrible. And then I don't know how or why, but then it avoided the red thing later and avoided the other 3 objects as well. Once again, the mopping did fine. The cleaning, vacuuming, almost all of these vacuum quite well. It really just comes down to how many features you want. This one has everything you want or need. Got the auto mop lifting, which works. The hot air drying, hot water cleaning, self-extraction of the dust. And it's a nice big unit that you don't have to change that water very often. So I'd say overall it's a great unit. I would recommend it. There are other ones in this price range that are just as good, if not slightly better. I know ECOVACS has more new products they're coming out with, and hopefully I'll be able to test those for you guys as well. But overall, I would recommend it. Are there better out there? Possibly. I haven't tested many of these flagship units, but I do have one coming, and actually I just got it delivered yesterday, and that is supposed to be an absolute beast, but I'll keep that on the DL for right now. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. If you want to see more robot vacuum content, definitely subscribe, because I do have more new ones coming out. There hasn't been a ton of robot vacuums coming out on the market, so that's why you haven't really seen a lot of these types of videos. And if you want to see like head-to-head videos of this one versus the S8 Ultra, or the new one I have, it's made by Dream. I'll just leave it at that for now, but it will be coming out very soon as well. I have the Narwhal Frio Ultra. That one is a brand new one that's only on Kickstarter. So I'll have a full review and unboxing and all that stuff on that. There's not even any information hardly on that unit other than what's on Kickstarter. So definitely some good stuff coming. Finally got a couple of new flagship robots to review for you. Hopefully Roborock will send me their newest and greatest. But somehow I lost communication with them. Not sure what happened, but hopefully I'll get that back. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Did a pretty good job overall. Once again, not great. This stuff here is more of a, it needs to be mopped, because a little bit of like dirt. Did not do that great here. It cannot get in the very corner, but most robot vacuums cannot get in the corners, even the square ones. Going into the kitchen here. It definitely cleaned in here, but it missed quite a bit. I don't know if it has trouble getting underneath the cabinets here, but as you can see, it missed quite a bit. So I'm not very happy about that, to be honest. Now, one thing that it did do all by itself, which is almost like a game changer, and I've been talking about this for a very long time on robot vacuums, is it was every 20 minutes or so, it went back and automatically self-emptied the dust. That's something that only iRobot has done in the past with one of their sensors, and it's what I always brag about and why iRobots are so good. Even the Roborock does not do that. Now, what I think they did, and I've been talking about this too, so maybe they finally heard one of my videos or whatever. I've always said they just need to simply make a timed setting where you say every 20 minutes, go back and empty regardless of the job. And it must have something integrated in the system to do that, so the bin doesn't get overly full and not be able to clean the entire floor plan. So I really, really like that.